Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, actually yesterday, day of recording at least, an event went live in-game that could potentially see you walking away with a free Tier 8 premium ship. And in today's video, we're going to talk about this event, go through it, discuss what you need to do in order to potentially acquire a free Tier 8 premium ship, and the best methods in order to give you guys the best chance of getting one. So, you see, dear viewer, this upcoming Tuesday is the anniversary of the sinking of the Tirpitz. Operation Catechism was the name the British gave it. And if you've never read the history behind this event, it's pretty interesting. It's one of the more interesting bits of World War II. All of the times the RAF tried to sink the Tirpitz as it was hiding out in its fjord, and eventually how they did sink her. But in honor of this historical event, Wargaming has launched their own Operation Catechism in-game. And it's working in a similar fashion as to previous events in that this is a competition amongst the player base on each server in order to acquire the maximum amount of XP in a single battle. Base XP, I should add. Now, what do you get as part of this event? Well, it depends on where you come at in on the leaderboard. So, for example, let me just go through the rules of the event. So you can try this in random battles, ranked battles, operation, and brawls during the event. The event's running from November 6th on the North American server through November 13th on the North American server at least. So you have from yesterday, 2 days ago, through Wednesday to try and get the highest amount of base XP that you can get in a single battle in one of those modes. So again, ranked, randoms, brawls, and operations. I don't know if the Star Trek operation is included in that. Doesn't really specify here, but probably randoms would be your best bet in my mind, at least, to do this. Why? We'll explain here in a second. So the rewards, the things that you want. Well, it goes off of the top 100 players in each server for base XP. So players 51 through 100 will receive 5,000 coal in a Tirpitz commemorative flag. 26 through 25 will get 500 steel, 5,000 coal, and that Tirpitz flag. 11 through 25 will get 1,000 steel, 5,000 coal, and that Tirpitz commemorative flag. And the top 10 players will receive the Tirpitz, the Tier 8 premium German battleship, a port slot, a commander with 6 skill points, 1,000 steel, 5,000 coal, and the Tirpitz commemorative flag. So, you might be saying, well, okay, Sealord, top 10 players get that reward. Yeah, they do, but hey, you never know. You could very easily find yourself in the top 10 if you have a battle go right for you. So, but anyway, too, if you come anywhere in the, top 100 on the server, I mean, like, you're getting free stuff, right? And keep in mind, too, that the vast majority of players that hop on World Warships, they don't really know what's going on. A lot of them are just getting on because they want to get on, play a couple battles, blow up some pixels on screen, and then they log off for the day. I mean, the North American server, we're peaking right now around, 10-ish thousand players at night at the right time. So, I mean, yeah, again, looking at the numbers might be a little disheartening, but there are some things you can do to potentially get, again, a free Tier 8 premium ship, guys. And they're fairly simple things. So, base XP. Base XP is calculated by the game taking a look at what you did in the game and rewarding you for it in that particular match, right? And you got to get as much base XP as possible in a single match. So, what does give you lots of base XP? Well, capping, for starters, is a great way to get easy base XP. So if you get a solo cap, meaning you sell into that cap, you cap it by yourself, you are just rolling in base XP after that for one cap. If you go throughout the match and you cap multiple caps solo, you are going to have a ton of base XP by the end of the game. Because, well, that's what you should be doing, right? Capping caps, and the game rewards you for that. So that's one of the easiest ways to get a decent amount of base XP. Now, the next easiest thing is damage. Now, damage is not rewarded in-game by the overall big number at the end. That does play into it a little bit, but not as much as the proportional amount of damage that you did to a ship versus its overall HP. Meaning that if you shoot at a destroyer and remove 3/4 of its HP, which may only be like 10,000 damage, right? If that. That is the exact same. The game is going to reward you for that 3/4 of that destroyer's HP as doing that to a GK. It doesn't matter. In the eyes of the game, that is the same amount of damage. It's a whole hell of a lot easier to, strip 10,000 damage off of a destroyer rather than, farm down a GK for 75,000 damage, unless he just sells into your wall of torpedoes. So, shoot destroyers, get caps. Assisting in cap ribbons are also worth a bit as well. When you sell into a cap together with another teammate, whoever has the most cap points, they get a proportional amount of the XP that you would get from a solo cap ribbon. So like if you're in a cap and you cap like 85% of it and someone just slips in there at the end, you are going to get the majority of the XP for capping that cap, and they'll get a little bit there at the end. Shooting down planes is worth a surprisingly high amount of XP as well. So if you have a ship that's good at blending planes and it's also good at capping, I mean, that's probably what I would go with. So something like the Kid or the Pan-European destroyers. They're good at cap contesting and capping, and they're also plane blenders. You could also go for, if you want to go for damage versus destroyers and capping caps. The Italian cruisers are pretty good at that. Sap do hurt destroyers quite a bit. So you take your Italian cruisers into battle, murder some destroyers with the sap, and then sell it into the cap, pop your smoke, and then cap that cap and call it a day. Now, of course, too, you can also try this in ranked and in operations. Operations, especially since they started to allow higher tier ships into operations, potentially I could see that maybe yielding some fruit for you. I mean, you could have some really crazy operations. You get the bright one like what's Defense of Norfolk, where you're just facing wave and wave and wave of bot ships, and if you got a solid tier 10 ship that you can really put the pain down on the enemy bots with, yeah, sure, that might do ya. But base XP, what is considered to be a lot of base XP, right? Like, what realistically should you be aiming for in the first place? Well, anything over like 2,500 base XP is a pretty darn good game, right? 2,800 base XP games, those aren't games that you have every day. You might have, one game where you break like 2,500 base XP, but like 2,700, so that's a lot. Now, obviously, there are going to be some super Unicum players out there that, they can do that no problem. But 3,000 base XP games, those are pretty exceptional games. Then when we start getting up to like the 32, 33, 3,400 base XP games, those are really, really good games. So if you're in like 35, 3,600 base XP area, I think you have a pretty good shot at least coming definitely, I would say, in like the 50-ish range. Now, there could be some players that just, they know how to manipulate the game. They know what to do. They know how to farm. They're great farmers. And obviously, yeah, they're going to be pretty tough to beat. But you got to consider, too, a lot of these, Super Unicum players, they have turrets already. They have all the skill that they need in the world, right? They may not be, going super hard at this event. So, I mean, like, top 10, yeah. And on a server, that's a pretty stiff order. But go after those caps, farm those destroyers down, shoot some down some planes. I mean, yeah. I mean, you guys have seen when we were talking about the video. You need to do your job. In one match, I was just playing Gearing, and I just spotted. I did like 12,000 damage, just spotted, capped a couple of caps. We won a game, and I was in like the 2,200 base XP range. So you don't really need to be worrying about farming and such, but just playing the objective, right? If you go for the caps, kill the destroyers, get the caps, you'd be surprised how well you can do. Now, obviously, yeah, everyone else that is probably going for the #1 position, they know this too. But I mean, hey, what's it going to cost you? I mean, take your best shot at it. Get a free Tirpitz. Even if you fall below the top 10, and at least if you're in the top 100, you're getting free stuff anyway, right? So what's the harm in trying? And who knows? Hell, you might get a Tirpitz out of it. Also, if you do have a Tirpitz anyway, and you do somehow come in the top 10, you will get a free 5,000 still as compensation for already having the Tirpitz. So who knows? I mean, hey, look, it's free stuff. You can get anything from, some free coal. I mean, 5,000 coal, that's a pretty good amount of coal. I mean, I'll take that, right? You can get free coal, some steel, might even wind up with the Tirpitz in your port. Who knows? Is Tirpitz a good premium in 2024? It's a little roughed in randoms right now, but like for ranked, it's a really good pick for ranked, so I would, it's worth trying to get one for free. Again, what's the worst that could happen? You try your best, you might get some free stuff. You may not get anything, but I mean, hey, what's wrong with giving it a shot, right? So guys, that's it for today's video, just going over the Catechism event. Let me know in the comments down below. You gonna give this a whirl or what? Again, free stuff is free stuff, so I say go for it. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful rest of the week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.